Tonight we have Janet Kuypers with us. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, Janet. If you're
Me do that.
You do a horrible.
Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Janet Kuypers. I feel like I've got a podium here, so I need it. I have passed out a few chapbooks just so that you could see the cutting room floor. There's a variety of poems in here that I was going to cover a ton of different topics. A lot of them are brand new, and I will talk about that later, but the first one I wanted to include as an older piece, and it's called More Than We Should Have. When I think of him, I usually think about the drinking. Actually, I never think of him as drinking, come to think of it. I just think of him as drunk. I don't always see the glass in his hand, but his perception of the world is always altered. But someone reminded me tonight of when he would work outside in the cold Chicago winters, and he would come back with his mustache frozen, and there would be little icicles hanging down toward his mouth. And then I thought of when he picked me up at the airport, and he wanted shrimp at the cocktail lounge, and he drank and ate, and I waited. And as we left, we tried to pay the expressway toll with pennies, but some of the change fell into the street, and so we just had to madly rush to throw some more change at the street, at the machine. We paid more than we should have. I'm sure we did. Older piece, I just wanted to include that one. And I have one other, I have a few older pieces. I have this one as an older piece. I read part of this at my wedding, actually. It is called, and I'm sorry that my husband can't be here to hear it, so this is called Looking for a Worthy Adversary. I've been looking for a worthy adversary, someone I could lock horns with, because although my life makes more sense when I'm alone, it's not nearly as interesting. I've been looking for a worthy adversary, someone I could battle to the death with, because it can't be about love, you see. Love can't exist on the terms I demand. It's never that pure. I've been looking for a worthy adversary, and so I slither up to you like a snake as you sit there at the corner, and I tempt you with a golden apple. But all I was offering you was fruit from the tree of knowledge. I didn't know how willing you were to take from that tree. I'm not used to that, you know. And I didn't know you'd have a thing or two to teach me, too. Because all this time I've been looking for a worthy adversary. All this time I've been playing a part, an actress on a stage, spouting the lines on cue. And that role was getting tiresome. But those stage lights still came on night after night, and I still had to play my parts. Until on my night off, I saw your performance at the theater down the street. And you know, your protagonist was doing what I was doing, right down to faking it with people who don't matter, right down to going home and still feeling empty. And you know, I like to see that boiling emotion underneath that no one else could see, because only I had the knowledge to know what that emotion really means. And I'm beginning to wonder if we could get together and write our own play. It would be a masterful performance, and as that curtain would close and we'd hold each other's hands and walk off the stage, and the audience would know that there was a happy ending. And now, when I walk out onto the set, and there you stand in front, stage left, I wait for my cue to make my move. None of the rest of the scene matters to me, you know. Maybe they'd like our little play. Maybe they wouldn't. Who really cares? Because even though I came to you and tempted you, you now tempt me and tease me and torment me and tell me everything I was too afraid to believe, and show me the knowledge that has always escaped me. And when you talk, you take your hand, reach it into my brain, and pull out my thoughts and shove them into your mouth and spit them back at me. And instead of filling me with terror, it fills me with joy. I've been looking for a worthy adversary, And maybe you are so much more than that. Because now every day is Valentine's Day, and now it's like candy and flowers and springtime and hearts and cupids and sunshine. You know, it's scary. These cliches are actually beginning to make sense. So now my performance of a lifetime is made, and I stand here like a statue and wait for my applause. And as I wait for the reviews for the performance I was made for, I know what they're all going to say, and none of that matters anymore. Because I know what you are going to say. Because it's everything I want to say. Because now it's time for you to take my thoughts again and shove them into your mouth again and spit them back at me again. As I wait for you to come on stage again for our next wonderful performance, where we have our happy ending, where you tell me what I already know. We've got a happy one out of the way. Now I go to a very different subject. This one, I won't say anything else about it unless you've seen it in the chapbook. This is called Aim. This is a newer one. It's called Aim Carefully. As the bullets flew through the air, I listened to the whirring. When you think about it, the bullets begin to sound like popping popcorn. And when it sounds like the popcorn's almost done, and then you hear just a few pops, then none, that's when it's safe to move. I've been through this too many times. It's been too many years. It's become second nature. After so many years of putting the 9mm to the line of people, after so many years of pulling the trigger, of knowing the base of the neck was the best place, of knowing how they fell into the ditch. 1, 2, 3. Became like a ticking clock through the years. Tick, tock. And all this time, my only thought every time was aim carefully. Roller coaster. This next really short piece might have something to do with the last one, or it might not. I decided to start trying to write poems that fit into 140 characters so they could be tweets at twitter.com. So I've got a few really short ones in here, and they're, I mean, you hear a phrase that you think is phenomenal and you don't know where you want to go with it, and I'm like, I'm going to make it. And this is one of the first ones I did, and this is called Witnessing Hitler's Reign. I watched the hopeless struggle for so many years, knowing their fate was ultimately sealed, just for knowing him. I cry, but no tears come out. Thank you. I know you're sure this is thank you. And I have another tweet, and I actually have posted up a thing for twitter.com/Janet Kuypers, but I have it as a private thing. So if people want to go and ask, they can become a part, but otherwise I don't want people responding saying, no, I think it sucks. No, but I just have it as a personal thing, as a test to see if I can make these really short poems, although with Twitter you don't get returns, so you have to like figure out spaces and comments and all that. And this is another, and I should pass along, and I see people are coming here, and everybody can get a chapbook of stuff on that. And this is another short one, when you hear an awesome phrase and you write a tweet poem. This is called Carrying Me Through. This body I am trapped in is only carrying my soul through this life, this world, through the hatred, the deception, the turmoil, through it all.